Hey everybody, welcome to another video. Today we're going to be going over exactly what's going to happen if a stock you own ends up getting acquired. The first thing to know is that there's two main types of acquisition deals that can be made. One of those is an all-cash deal, and the other one is an all-stock deal. If it's an all-stock deal, then you'll receive shares of that larger company that's doing the acquiring. This will typically dilute that larger company's shares because they need to issue new shares in order to provide them to that target company's existing shareholders. Because of this, the stock price of that larger company doing the acquiring will tend to dip down a little bit upon the news of an acquisition because investors are anticipating upcoming dilution. So those are the basics of an all-stock deal, but what you're going to see more commonly is an all-cash deal. In this case, that larger company doing the acquiring is going to purchase all the shares of that smaller target company for cash. So when the acquisition goes through, your shares will automatically be sold and you'll receive the cash equivalent of the shares that you had owned. And just like when you'd sell a stock normally, the income you earn from this automatic sale is taxable. So those are the basics of an all-cash deal. Now the recently announced acquisition of Volta by Shell is an all-cash deal, so all of the shareholders of Volta stock will receive the cash equivalent of their shares once this acquisition goes through. This acquisition is going through at a price of 86 cents per share, and you'll notice that Volta stock is already trading very close to that. So should you just sell your Volta stock right now and just be done with it? This is generally what most people will do ahead of an acquisition, but there are some good reasons to continue holding the stock. The first reason is that another company could come in and place a competing bid to try and acquire that target company at a better price or with better terms as far as the amount of cash versus stock the acquisition is happening with. For example, Microsoft and Salesforce were placing competing bids to acquire LinkedIn. Microsoft ended up winning the bid because they worked out an all-cash deal, whereas Salesforce was a mixture between cash and stock. So since the shareholders of LinkedIn prefer to receive more cash than stock, Microsoft won the deal. Now aside from competing bids, the second reason why you might want to hold on to the stock before it gets acquired is because if everybody sold the stock across the board, then the stock would be valued far less than the price that the acquisition is going through for. So that would leave some upside in the stock where investors can buy in before the acquisition goes through. But although an acquisition might be very likely, there's still no definitive guarantee that it's actually going to go through until it does. Because of this, the share price of the target company will typically trade a bit under the acquisition price, and usually the gap between the acquisition price and the price that it's trading at represents the amount of risk investors feel there is to this acquisition falling through. For example, if the stock is trading very close to the acquisition price, investors don't believe there's too much risk involved with this acquisition. But if the stock is trading significantly below the acquisition price, then investors think there's a good chance the acquisition might fall through. So that's all for today. I hope everybody enjoyed, and I'll see all of you in the next video.